Hi everybody, it's Robin with the Globus family of brands. And if you didn't know that Avalon Waterways is part of the Globus family of brands, that's okay. But we are, and we're really proud to be part of the family. And as family goes, we are one of the newer products, but we just celebrated our 13th year in business with Avalon Waterways. And what I love about that story is actually, yeah, I think it's 13. Avalon, before 9/11, there was no Avalon Waterways. This was something that we created, we saw a need for, and we embarked on it in a time of crisis, kind of like a time of crisis that we have right now, where we are working overtime to develop new products and new itineraries and lots of new things for you to enjoy while you're traveling. So today we're going to talk about some of the new things that are going on with Avalon. Some of them aren't all that new, but I think they're worth mentioning. And we're also going to talk about some of the safety protocols that we have in place for when we're ready to start sailing again. So without further ado, the same rules apply as with any of my webinars. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the question box and I will do my best to answer them quickly for you. So I've got to get my mouse to work. Here we go. There we go. So redefining the window opportunity. This is not something that is new, but what I will tell you is that we've won many awards in the last year, last several years, but some really great awards, including Best Cabins on the River, Best Cabin Design, all kinds of great things from places like Condé Nast and Travel Weekly and Cruise Critic and so many wonderful organizations that see what every single river cruise company has to offer. And this is our panoramic stateroom. This is what 80% of our staterooms look like. They are oversized, so they are 30% larger than what the other guys have on a standard river cruise ship. And our philosophy has always been to have less people on board and give everybody more space. And what a popular thing that will be moving forward, right? So that wall of windows is 11 feet wide by 7 feet tall and opens 7 feet. And it is where other ships might have what you would consider like French doors or like your slider to go out on your balcony or on a back porch. This is a complete wall of windows. So you'll see here in just a second, when we compare our staterooms to the standard river cruise stateroom, the blue is where the standard river cruise stateroom ends, and we have extended it out into that space. Because we don't have an external balcony, and I'll talk about that in a minute, we're able to give you more livable space. Because quite frankly, typically we will sail from March to December. So we might have cool days. So we might have snow at Christmas markets. And we want you to be able to have a great view no matter what time of year you're sailing. If it's too hot outside, if it's a bit chilly, you wouldn't use your balcony anyway. If it's raining, you wouldn't use your balcony. This gives you that usable space that everybody loves. We've made the beds face the view, which once you experience it, you won't ever want to go back to looking at a wall while you sail. And we've actually made the bathrooms a little bit larger, which you can see from this diagram as well. Plenty of great places to put your luggage that stores underneath the bed. We've got closet areas. We've got all kinds of great stuff. And again, this is what 80% of our staterooms look like. Now, there are going to be many choices for you in river cruising. And if you're listening today and you're used to sailing out on the ocean, some of these things might really intrigue you that we've already included. So all of our dining options are included. You can choose from multiple dining options, no additional charge. Regional wine and beer and soft drinks are included with your meals, with lunch and dinner. We've got onboard entertainment, again, no additional cost. Complimentary Wi-Fi, no additional cost. We have coffee, tea, and cappuccino, which are manned stations now. We're no longer doing self-service at the moment, but that's all going to be included as well. Plus, when you go out on your tours, which we do have tours included each day, multiple options in many cases, those are going to be included as well. We do have a couple that are additional costs because they might be a little further out, or there might be additional cost to it, but or maybe it's a special interest and not everyone would like it. But we have a plethora of excursions for you to choose from. I'll talk a little bit more about that. We also have fantastic beds, great pillow menus, and even mattress menus. So we can make one side firm and one side softer if that's what you choose. The other thing that I always like to point out is our staterooms, not only are they soundproofed, they also have their own individual air filtration system. So we are not filtering air from one stateroom to another. Literally, your room, your stateroom is your pod, and that we bring in fresh air and we pump out stale air. So there's no way for things to move throughout the ship because we do have individual filtration systems. So that's very handy to know as well. So when you go on a river cruise, you have many choices, and with Avalon you have even more choices. So we want to make sure we introduce what's called Avalon Choice, and this gives you 3 distinct categories of excursions. Our classic excursions, which those are going to be more of the must-see sites, maybe a guided walk, like we do a full or a half-day tour in Amsterdam of the Keukenhof Gardens, that's included. In Budapest, we take you must-see sightseeing to include Heroes Square, or maybe you are in Paris and we take you on a guided walking tour of Paris and include the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower. So those are going to be your classic excursions. And you can pick a classic in the morning and an active in the afternoon and mix and match. You don't have to stick with just one type of excursion the whole time. Next up would be our active excursions, and as the name implies, this is exploration in motion. So this might get your heartbeat going a little bit, right? It might be in Linz, where you can take a bike tour, a guided bike tour to a local farm. It could be an underground wine tasting in Vivers. It could be a hike that you have your adventure host take you on. So there's lots of different choices. I mean, when we're going through the Black Forest, you can do a hike in the Black Forest. Lots of really cool choices, which also brings our average age of our guests down quite considerably over our counterparts, because we do have these active excursions. My favorite are the discovery excursions. These are things that instead of just watching the world go by, you're actually getting in there and doing things, like a cooking class in Lyon, where you learn how to make specialties from the region. Or maybe it is a guided tour of Delta Works, which is the world's largest flood protection system, which is amazing. Like I thought, oh, I'll do this, but it's not going to be interesting. Completely interesting. We have cooking classes, like I said, painting classes, all chocolate tasting classes, all kinds of things, wine tasting. We have an excursion where you can go into the market with the chef on board and pick out some of the daily features. So again, this is just one of those different ways that we know we have 128 or 166 people on board, but we know that they're all going to have a slightly different view of what is perfect for their day. So we want to give you lots of choices. Another great thing that we have is some fantastic technology. And our Avalon Go app is something that you can download before you go. It is complimentary, and it does not use, it's Wi-Fi enabled, so you don't have to be on Wi-Fi to use it once you get to Europe or to your destination. But it'll have all of your electronic documents. It'll have any kind of travel guides, maps, recommendations for dining and shopping and sightseeing. It even has a currency converter and a weather forecaster. And one of my favorite things is you can take pictures and you can put in your own personal captions so that you remember, because if you're like me, sometimes you take quite a few pictures and sometimes you start to forget what you took a picture of. This gives you that ability right away. And it also has augmented reality navigation system. So if you get turned around in town and you're not sure where the ship is, it will walk you back step by step back to the ship. What a great feature. We also have changed up in light of the current climate, we have changed up our dining. Now, we've always offered what we call flex dining, which allows you to choose your time and your place and your venue. But what we have done in addition to that is we no longer have any self-service buffets. Everything now is a la carte. So breakfast, we would have like fruit and cheeses and things like that. Now you can order a cheese platter or a fruit plate, right? Or you can order both. Eggs are still cooked to order. It's just that we have a staff member bringing them to you now. So lots of different choices, from continental breakfast in your stateroom, which is complimentary, to we can even pack a lunch for you if you want to take it while you go out exploring. We still utilize the top deck. We'll still be utilizing the main dining room. We will just be social distancing whenever necessary and whenever appropriate. And then, of course, a new item on our ships a couple years ago, we added what we call our adventure hosts. And these are men and women who are specially trained. Some of them are yoga instructors or Zumba instructors or, whatever the case may be, but they will take on the responsibility for planning some, morning walks and some afternoon hikes and different things like that. So if your idea of vacation still includes working out every day or being active, you can work with your adventure host, and they can help make sure that you meet that you are meeting all of the requirements that you want to in your daily activities. Okay. I did want to highlight a couple of itineraries. The Balkan Discovery is really a great itinerary for people who have been everywhere in Europe. But a lot of people have done Budapest to Prague or Prague to Budapest, but they haven't gone any further from Budapest. So this one takes you from Hungary to Serbia, a little bit of time in Croatia, Bulgaria, and Romania, and you end in Bucharest. So you get to go through the Iron Gates here, lots of really breathtaking views that you might not have seen before, because that's always good, right? Reflections on the Seine. This is another itinerary. We have two itineraries on the Seine. This is a 9-day one-way itinerary. So, round trip out of Paris, but you get to do Giverny and Normandy beaches and Vernon, which is a cute little town. You'll visit Busy Castle. And one of my favorites is that we overnight on the ship in Paris, so you can actually see the Eiffel Tower illuminated at night. And I didn't mean to rush over Normandy. We do spend some time at Normandy beaches, and we have historians come on board, and it really is a life-changing kind of experience. Another one is German grandeur. This is, I have German history and German background in my family, so this is of great interest to me. You'll do the Rhine, the Main, and the Main, and the Danube on this particular itinerary. So you really are concentrated right there in Germany, with 2 nights on land in Munich, and you'll actually do a side trip to Oberammergau and to Neuschwanstein Castle. Remember, 2022 is the next alliteration of the Passion Play. So if you want to do this itinerary, do it in 2021, because 2022 is going to be a little crazy in Germany. All right, we also have what we call our active and discovery itineraries. And I'm thrilled that Deb Mitchell and Cassie Johnson are going to be hosting the active and discovery on the Rhone. If you are a wine lover, or if you've always dreamed of going to France, this is the itinerary for you. They'll be traveling in the fall, September 28th through October 5th of 2021. So in our active and discovery, there's a couple things that make them unique. One, we're doing more day sailing, which is fantastic. You get to see more sites. Two, we will have more of those active and discovery excursions offered to you. And we are taking a river that we already do and just adding some new spots along the way. It's very unique. River cruising, one of the things that makes it so special is that, just a few people, there's these little towns and these little villages. Well, it's not so quaint when 7 river cruise companies all show up at the same place. So what did we decide to do? Well, we decided to build our own ports and docks and highlight some new places that no one else can go because we haven't given them permission to use our docks yet. So we have more than enough ships to make these little towns and villages, you know, happy with our visits and not overwhelmed. So keep that in mind as well. Another great, oh, and I apologize, I didn't change the slide. But Burgundy Provence does offer wine appreciation cruises in 21 and 2022. Both 2021 sailings and 2022 sailings are open for sale. And this, again, if you're a wine lover, this is a great itinerary. You start in Paris, and then you'll take the train down to Dijon, and you'll embark, and then you will sail downward to on the Rhone River and the Seine River to Lyon and Vives and Avignon before ending and disembarking and heading over to Marseille. Again, a beautiful itinerary and well worth it. Now, we talked about the wine cruises, and I think it's important to remember what that means. We will have a master of wine on board. That is the highest level of sommelier that there is. We'll be doing an introduction to wine and wine tasting class. We'll do some food and wine pairings at dinner, some chocolate and wine tastings, all different kinds of things, in addition to some lectures and different things like that. We have a wide range of different special interest cruises. So author cruises, World War II history, all that kind of stuff. Now, changing gears just ever so slightly, I did want to mention something that it might be new to you, is that we go to the Mekong. And I had the privilege of doing our Vietnam and Cambodia sailing on the Mekong 2 seasons ago. And this is a breathtaking vessel, only 32 passengers on board. The staterooms are absolutely magnificent. And the people are really what make this itinerary so incredible. You know, you'll go to temples and you'll see lots of different things, but the history, the people, the food and cuisine, you know, the cuisine is just amazing. So lots of different things for you to see. There's kind of a banyan tree behind us here, but you go to Angkor Wat, and you'll be able to sail all the way to Ho Chi Minh City. Other companies, their vessels are too big, so they have to motor coach people, and it's my understanding it can take anywhere from 6 to 8 hours on that road. So we're able to do it on the river, which is the way it's intended. Another really interesting opportunities for the Ganges River. So remember, this is a 56 passenger charter that we do on the Ganges Voyager, and you can purchase it as cruise only for 6 nights, or you can extend and do 6 nights on land. So which would be round trip Calcutta. So it works out very well together, but this again is another just amazing destination when you meet the people and interact with the people. We do a sari and turban fitting, so some really neat things in addition to taking you to the Taj Mahal and all those great things, and a game drive when you do the land portion to see the Bengal tigers. And then I have to also remind people that we do the Galapagos, and this is another, this is a luxury catamaran that we charter. It holds just 16 people. It has a naturalist on board, and of course, the Galapagos Islands are right off the coast of Ecuador, and there are 13 islands and then hundreds of smaller islands. And you'll see that we, on both of these itineraries, sail to quite a few of these islands. And if you are married to or know somebody who loves wildlife, this is like the Super Bowl, right? This is the best of the best. From blue-footed boobies to penguins and flamingos being on the same beaches. Just it's a wide array of wildlife. In case you haven't been on with me today already, I do want to point out our Peace of Mind plan, which allows you to, it is complimentary coverage, and it allows you flexibility to move your deposits prior to final payment to a new travel date or a new itinerary. So for example, you book something this week and you want to travel in fall of 2021. Then you find out that your daughter's getting married in the fall of 2021. So you need to postpone. Not to worry, the folks at Cruise Holidays know exactly what to do. And we can, as long as you haven't, your final payment date hasn't passed, we can move you to a different date or destination later into 2021 or even into 2022. And we have opened all of our products for 2021 and 2022 right now. So if you want to book something to look forward to in 2022, let's do it. Let's take advantage of early booking discounts and air specials and all kinds of things that are going on. And I did mention, of course, that we have some special offers. So right now, an extra $100 off worldwide destinations, including Avalon, if you book now through January 19th. And we do have a special offer on all of our brands, but specifically to Europe, Avalon, we just added a special air promotion. So we have really great rates from Kansas City and St. Louis and about 35 different cities. So we can give you more information about that if you give the folks at Cruise Holidays a call, and their number is 816-505-1500. So thank you so much for joining me today. I don't have any questions in the question box, but I certainly want to thank you for thinking about travel, and we can't wait to host you again soon. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.